Hi guys. Give me just a second. I'm gonna make sure that I've got everything going okay. Um, Hopefully I do. It's saying I do. I don't know. Hopefully, looks good. It's so hard to tell, and I can't really speak a whole lot because, I have kids that are trying to sleep right now, and okay, so it sounds like everything's coming through good. Okay, good. Perfect. So, all right. What I'm doing tonight is I finished a quilt earlier and I did it as a giveaway. And so whenever I found out who won it, and I was like, well, I got to send that to her tomorrow. So let me just make a quick other little thing or two to send since she's down south and I have some other things that I can send. So I'm trying to get my stuff out here because I was going to just try to do a Facebook, but the problem is that I'm posting in too many groups and I can't keep up with it all. And I don't know. It's starting to be overwhelming. So let's just get down to the nuts and bolts of things here. So I'm going to be using more Martelli stuff. I haven't posted it on YouTube in a long hot minute, and it's because I'm mostly on Facebook. But again, it's hard to do that because everybody is in all the different groups, and then I have a group will ask me something, and then another group will ask me something, and I'm getting confused, and I'm getting on up there, so that's a thing. So in light of that, I am chatty. I get that. I've had those comments. Chatty, so chatty. So I should point the camera over here. Sorry, I'm just working. Okay, so I wonder if I should dim the lights. Right now, okay, so what's happened since my last video is that I have actually purchased this Baby Lock Accomplish. And so it's only about 2 weeks, I think, old. And so far, so what I had originally done was I went ahead and just made this quilt thinking that I just wanted to try out my new machine, see what she would do, and then I would just do it as a giveaway. It turned into this really beautiful project, and it just really was consuming, and I fell in love with it. But anyways, I did a giveaway on my Facebook page, and the girl that won it, I actually went to high school with her, and she's in Louisiana, and I'm going to mail it off to her tomorrow. And so I was like, well, I have these bowl cozies over there that have LSU on them and stuff like that from, I don't know, a year or so ago when my other machine tried to junk out on me and I couldn't finish them. And so I pulled out some, stuff that wasn't finished. There it goes. I always, I have to do it right. I suck at life, so my machine's not even on. So, and so anyways, I was like, well, I'll throw those in there. Then I got to thinking, I was like, I really want to use these new Hexagon templates that I have. And I can show them to you real fast. But I'm going to do this. We're going to skip around. I'm just going to mess you really up because I'm not really a tutorial person. I'm just a vlogger or oversharer or whatever you want to say about me. That's cool. So the first thing I'm doing here, these are already my cut pieces, and I will show you the cutting process in a minute. But this is I think it's 5.5 hexagon. This is actually the print. It's so stinking cute. I don't know the manufacturer. I got it at a quilt shop in Claremore, Oklahoma, the Cotton Cottage. I couldn't even find the label for it, but I possibly could have just cut it up. Anyways, so this is a feather light fusible stuff. So this is the side that's got the bumpies, the fusible stuff on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm putting it face down, just like you were going to put two fabrics together. Okay, So I'm going to run a stitch. And as soon as I figure out what I'm doing, because I was doing other stuff earlier, so let me just do some adjusting here. And then let me try to adjust you a little bit, you know, because I'm so professional and all. Not. Okay, let me move this out of the way. So it has a built-in seam allowance, and it actually, the Martelli template has a little spot for you to be able to know where to stop and all of that stuff, but it's really just not necessary for what I'm doing, because I'll show you why in just a minute. I'm just gonna, because I'm gonna be flipping this, so the corner isn't gonna be life or death for me, because I'm gonna be flipping it, like I said. Crap. Come on. That's one dog, so there'll be another one in a second. That's just facts of life there. So I'm just doing a really tight seam. I absolutely adore this machine. It just does everything. Well, I should have did one more. Okay. So for the sake of time and for this video, I'm only going to do one of these. And I'm not going to fuss with if it's perfect on this or not or whatever. All I'm worried about is making sure that the ends of the fabric are going to be turned. That's all that I'm really concerned about. I don't care about if it looks any other way. Okay. So at this point, I'm going to I'm going to trim it with my imaginary scissors that I have in my hand. Okay, let me see. So organized. All right, so, and I could have done this, but I just used some random pieces of this feather light that I had. So just going to cut it right here on my bed and, you know, get all these little scraps in my machine because I'm responsible like that. I'm super sarcastic, guys, tonight. It's so late. My kids are in bed. It's the only way I can get stuff done. So. I could have like painted these or whatever, but so I did all the way around. So there's no opening or anything like that. And I'm just going to get rid of this hoopla now. And then I'm going to take and flip this over. And I'm just going to pull these apart like this. Just give it a little jiggle, little wiggle. You can use a seam ripper, but these pieces are really big enough that you can just pull it apart. I'm just going to cut it. Then I'm going to put my scissors in here, and I'm just going to cut it up. And this is not like a surgical procedure, and I don't even care how many like slices I put in it. I usually actually do just a big X, because this whole purpose of this thing is just to hold it down while you, after you quilt it or whatever, you know, do whatever you're going to do. So, but the other thing I am going to do is, since these corners, there's a lot of these corners here, I'm actually going to go ahead and find my pinking shears wherever they are. There they are. And I'm going to just clip that corners just so that it gives us a better corner. Okay. Then We'll keep moving right on along, guys. This is such a simple thing to do. It's just so simple. You could actually make like the coolest quilt ever with these giant hexies from Martelli. I just wanted to also just put a quick little thing in there. I don't work for Martelli. I am not sponsored by anybody. I don't work for anybody. I'm a stay-at-home mom. So I'm not paid for or bought or anything like that. Just so you know, I'm just a huge fan. So there's that. I always like to put that little disclosure out there because I've had one little tiny admin of a group give me a little bit of an issue about it. And I just, you know, I was like, hey, lady, this is my house, my tools, my stuff. Nobody pays for these bills but my husband. Bless his heart. Okay, so I always have this giant little knitting needle that I like to use just because whatever. I have these other big white things and I have a purple fang or whatever, but I just always go back to this thing just because I use big templates a lot. And this one just really gets her done, you know? I'm just going to try to get those corners worked out. All right, it looks good to me. I'm happy with that. I'm fine with that. So I'm not worried about anything else on here. I'm just going to try to roll these out. And see, that's why I go ahead and I cut the nice big holes, because that doesn't have to stay intact back there. It doesn't matter. Its purpose is for this nice seam right there. So it doesn't, you know, whatever. So I like to have enough of it to pull and do my nice little turn. Of course, you can do this as speedy or as slow as you would like. I'm just showing you the one, so I don't even have a finished product to show you, actually. I mean, I could have, but I don't know that I want the live to go that long, because I don't know how long they let these lives go. All right, it's time to go over to the other area. So now you see, this is our finished little product. Well, our not finished, but our beginning of our applique piece. So next things next. Let me see how I'm going to maneuver you over to the table area. Let's just, let's just wing it. Hopefully, it's not going to be that bad. Maybe a little bit. I suck. All right. I have lots of crap in the way, so this is going to be the top. And now I'm going to go ahead and take the time to freeze it right here. I'm just going to put this aside. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I'm doing with some other fabrics so that you have a good idea of what's happening here. So on one side of this is going to be the runner, is going to look like, okay, this is glow in the dark fabric. I think Timeless Treasures, I think. I got it, Quilting Shop in Wagner. Okay, so this is going to be here like this. And then I've got my other pieces over there that were already ready to be sewed. This is going to go here. Now it may not make sense right now, but it promise it will. And then this will go right here. And this is going to go right here. So all of these smaller hexagons are going to be done just the same way that I just did this. So once I get that done, then I'm going to press this down on here. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to use my fussy cut that comes with the Martelli Hexagon template. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. I don't want to get too far ahead. I'm just trying to show you the basic design that I'm going for. So this will be one hexagon, and then this will be the center hexagon. This will be the last. So there's only going to be 3 for this table runner. You could do a whole blanket like this if you wanted to, but I'm just doing the 3. And then on the back, I'm going to do a completely different design. It's going to have a design of this brown and this leaf right here. So I'll keep the live going as long as it lets me, I guess, so that you can see how that's going to end up. But basically, you'll be able to take the whole table runner and flip it over, and you'll have Thanksgiving, or a more elegant looking one instead of a so funny one. Because I usually try to put some piece of me in everything I do, and then maybe something that could be the other person in it as well. So I don't know if this is going to go to a fancy house or a kid house or whatever, So anyways, so now I'm going to explain the thought process. Well, not the thought process. I'm going to explain the templates and how they work and show you some other examples of them. Let me just pull these apart and set these aside. So actually, should I just go ahead and keep sewing these just so that you can see the one side for sure? I don't know. You can tell I'm not good at this. Let me grab my other templates. Let's see. If I don't get knocked in the head a little bit. Okay. Oops. Yeah. So I'm going to be super honest with you here. I honestly do not know if when you purchase these big hexagons, if they come as part of with fussy cuts or not. Some of the Martelli stuff, it comes automatically with a fussy cut, and some of it doesn't. Some of it's separate. I don't really know at the time when I got it what the situation was, but so I'm gonna just run you through this real fast, quick, in a hurry. So Martelli is my favorite brand. This is a Martelli mat, Martelli cutters. Martelli is just everywhere that you see, basically. So this is the reason why I love them. So this is the fabric that we're going to cut at for a minute, but I wanted to show you as well. So like on this directional fabric, with the goblins and ghouls and witches brew, if I'm looking at this and I know that I want my table runner, I know that I want it to go this direction, or maybe I want my people to face this way and then this way, or whichever way I want my people to face. I need to be able to see those people. So that's where the fussy cut comes in. And when you're cutting your fabric, you need to know where your sew lines are, if you're going to do a straight line or if you're going to be making a blanket, however you're going to do it. So that's where this comes in. And then this is the matching one that goes with the other size. So what I used today was the 5.5 hexagon and the 6.5 hexagon. Now on theirs, they have these little holes right here, and you can actually poke those out with, I poke mine out with a grommet punch. And so you can just punch it just like this, and then just, keep it like that, and or a bias, whatever, starter. And then it made the hole. You can see my finger through the hole, hopefully. And whenever you have it down, you can actually put your pin in there and mark it, so that way you know exactly where to stop sewing and start sewing again. And it also has your 1/4 inch seam allowance built into these. So this is 6.5 inches from here to here. So from the point to point. So these are really large. So that's part of the whole price situation with them, is what you're paying for here. All right, so now I've showed you what I'm using. So I'm going to show you why I spring for this stuff. Okay, because, you know, I have like back and arthritis and junk. So this is, let's just say I'm going to make me a 5.5 hexagon. I always call them hexies, but, you know, people can do whatever. So I'm just going to lay it down. And look, my fabric's not going to like do anything hanky or weird or whatever. So then I can just take my cutter and I'm going to release the shield on it. And this is just like such an awesome design. This is actually the very first thing I ever purchased, was this one. And I've actually only changed the blade once since May. And I don't know if that's good or bad. I may get in trouble for that. I don't know. But I just haven't found it necessary. So I'm going to just, I always pull back. I don't know what other people do. But there's my cut. You don't push down. You just let it drive, just like you're driving a car. So there's no like this notion, you know. And then you're going to spin it, which affects nothing because it keeps your fabric in place because it's no slip. There's my cut. I'm going to move it. Look at that. Like, it's not moving at all. So I don't have to worry about anything at all. I don't have to worry if my 3-year-old comes running in here and starts talking to me or messing with me or, I mean, anything. I can just leave it sitting here, walk away, and it's not going to get hurt or bothered or anything. And you see, this is how I hold mine. I don't know if that's right or not, but that's what I do. So, you know. Okay, so I'm getting a notice that's saying it's almost time to restart. Okay, so this is my computer, I think. So let's say not now. I thought it was YouTube, so I don't know. Okay, so it looks like everything's fine. So I'm going to set this stuff aside because this was just an extra. I don't want to screw myself up. But look at that. That's totally perfect. But if you wanted to get the sew dots on there, you would have just left it. You would have took your marker and you just would have went bloop, 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 bloop. And then you would have just done your thing. Okay, so I'm going to move this aside because that's just for play. I'm going to show you one other thing that I have done. It has nothing to do with what we're doing right now. And I'm going to share it with you because I've shared it with other people and I get a lot of questions on it. I'm just going to do a really quick show and tell, okay? That's it. Then I'm moving on. So this is, I know that you guys have had to have seen these. Hopefully that'll help turning that way. I know that you guys have had to have seen these at other places, these hexagons that English paper piecing or whatever you want to call it, but I don't do mine that way. I do it exactly the way I'm doing these big ones, and I just use the Martellis, and I use to make this right here, I used the 2-inch and the 3-inch, just like that. And so once that you get enough of these made, you just zigzag stitch them and it turns into your blanket just like that. So you could do this a little at a time. I'm actually making this one for my aunt. And so all of these will get pieced together eventually and become one. So you cut, this is actually a charm pack. And I put down the smaller hexagon onto the charm pack. Zip, 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 done. And then the backing is the 3-inch. And then you also cut your batting in the 2-inch and you just stack and go. I'll do a different video if you guys want me to on that one. I've had a lot of requests on that. And the Missouri Quilt Star, actually, she does it with her own like templates or whatever that are acrylic. But she does it a little bit different. I don't know. It just was, I don't know, a little bit harder. I don't know. Mine is just quick and easy. I just get it done. I don't know. I'm different. So, okay, let's go back to sewing. And because I really would like to get the topper done because like I said, I really am not familiar with YouTube and all of that mess. And so I don't know when this thing's going to like shut me down. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. And I'm probably going to get one of those people that's like going to tell me how chatty I am. So hopefully you guys won't be too mean to me. We'll see what happens. That looks about okay, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, it's just, oh my gosh, that was my belly. So sorry. Come on, hurry up. Okay. Excuse me, sir. Move it. Okay. All right, let's move it out of the way. I'm using a silver thread, by the way, because I'm going to put other stuff with this that I want it to match because I want to make it reversible. So, all right. So again, what I'm doing is I'm putting bumpies to the right side. It's just like putting two right side fabrics together, like you're going to turn them inside out like you would anything else, a pillow, a blanket, you know, anything. I don't know. This fabric is glow in the dark, so yes. I'm such a nerd. And you are working with bias when you're doing hexagons too, by the way, so. Whoops. Again, don't care. It's fine. I'm doing this for the edge work, remember? Back it up there, Hoss. Back it up. Okay, come on. What do you want, baby? What is it, baby? Oh, this thing is going wonky pod. What? I let you in. What do you want? What do you want? What? I'm not ready for bed yet. You can't make me. Stop it. Stop. What do you want? What do you want? I'm busy. Okay. Bumpies. Yes. Face down. Yes. Okay. Make sure I'm on here right. What? Okay. Oh my gosh, I really just went all the way out there like that. Paying attention to my dog. Oh, jeez. I could have swore I just heard a kid. And I'll tell you the honest to God truth, I waste a lot of featherweight like this because it actually really helps to hold on to it. I don't know why I wasn't already doing that, but I guess it's been a hot minute. But I just hold on to it right here to keep it from rattling so much, like underneath it, and it keeps it just trucking along better. I just use my finger now or whatever. And it just keeps it rolling. I forget stuff. If you don't use it, you lose it. Alright, so I'm going to do this other one just for the sake of doing one whole one with you, and then I'm going to get off here. So this is a different pattern. This is what I'm going to use on the back. So again, this is the scratchy side up, the gluey side up, and this is my fabric face down. And hopefully I bent over the corner on that thing. You'll get the idea. Janky. Crap. The bias is strong with this one. Now, I'm going to take these over to my cut station. We're going to move over there because it's easier for me to flip it at that point and do it that way. So I'm going to just take a few little things with me. And let's go back over here because we're pretty much done over here for a little bit anyways. So, moving you once again. Sorry. I know. It's terrible. The life of watching YouTube. Okay. Let's just do it just like that. And hopefully everything's just going to be okay. Let's just go with okay. All right. So, just a little bit easier, instead of having to use scissors, to get to use your rotary. Oh my gosh, I can't even talk. I'm going to try to not shine that in your face so much, but I need light. And then I'm just going to actually left the guard off. Dang. Glad the kids are asleep. Sorry, there's no musical background or sound effects or anything like that. It's just silence from sleeping children and annoying dogs. I just use whatever random Martelli straight edge that I have up there. This one's a 3.5 by 12.5, and it almost always works for everything I'm doing, so I don't really have much of a issue there. So let me just use a different pair of scissors real fast. Just gonna clip the corner gently. Actually, I wonder if I should tempt fate and try. I say do it. Do it, do it, do it. Let's see what happens. Well, it works. Awesome. Cutting my corners again. Fuzz in that booger. I have to use my mat cleaner. And that one's already done. We just have to do this one now. Let's see. Man, that makes moving that feather light a lot easier. I don't know why I didn't think to do that before. My bad. There we go. Over there. Put this back up on my handy dandy shelf that my sweet husband made for me. Just gonna clip these corners real fast. Like of this. Okay. All right, so now we're going to do just like we did a while ago, except at this time, hoping to speed it up a little. So I usually just use a seam ripper to help get it started. There we go. And this one's already done, so that can go over there. Then we're going to do this one. There we go. And then, come on, you can do it. Oh my gosh, I think I need to get a new seam ripper or something. This thing just is not doing it for me. Okay, so just like before, I'm just going to give it some cuts. And you know, you can do one slit. If you want to do one slit, you can do one slit. Or you can do whatever you want to do. You can I just do what is. Like I get it done. People, persons, things. Okay. So let me actually get my big bone tool. That's what I call it. I don't know what it is, but. And then I'm just going to start flipping. Just going to work my way around. Just like that. I guess having less open holes though is what helps keep the feather weight more toward the inside, but I actually like to turn these things myself because I know that the machine doesn't feed this stuff right. So I would just rather iron this piece by piece instead of just chancing it, if that makes any sense at all. I just don't trust my own stitching and my material for that. Because I know some people can do it like that and they're just fine and dandy and can work out of a tiny little hole and everything works out great, but yeah, not me. No thanks. I'm good. I'm so excited to be doing a small project right now. Just because when you finish like a big blanket, it's always so nice to just do something small and fun that you can actually see finished in a day. That's so great. Especially like gift stuff. Yes. Next time, I'm really going to try to have this mostly done, but like one panel. And then you're like, yeah, so you do this, this, and this, and voila, this comes out. Or maybe I won't. Maybe I'll do it this way. I don't know. Okay. Definitely going to get that one guy, though, that's going to say, so chatty. Why so chatty? I think he even follows my channel and does that. So I don't know. Sir, if that's you, I'm sorry. Just ignore my chattiness. I'm a mom. All I have is kids with me all the freaking time. So I talk to myself a lot, and these videos are an outlet for me. So I do share things about my life and my kids, and I have 8 of them, so they're great. And but adults are great too sometimes, like having conversations that don't involve the word poop in it is great too. Okay, so that's all flipped and dandy and great and fine. Let's move a few things out of the way. Get rid of a few tools here. Good with that. Good with this. Put this back. I like to stay tidy in my tiny room. I actually moved from the upstairs spare space to downstairs into our breakfast nook. So that's why the change in scenery. I actually forgot that I haven't talked to you guys on this channel since that move. So while I'm at it, this is a Martelli as well. Of course it is, because everything is Martelli. It's like, whatever. This is their cutting mat, ironing wool, travel thingy. Cut press mat. And it's 12 by 12. I actually iron on this all the time. And it doesn't warp or bother anything at all. I absolutely love this. I rarely use my big iron board now unless I'm doing like big yardage. So this is the Mac Daddy right here. I love it. It's great. It makes my life better. Anything that makes my life better, I'm for that. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to just take out one of these completed sections because I want to be able to put it together on camera. So I'm trying to remember. So how this one was set up was like this. Okay. So, and this one is set up for, let me see which one that one goes on. I have to make sure what I'm doing here. Yeah, because it's going to be an end piece too. So I need a big brown. Where's the big brown? There it is. So I need a big brown. It's not a ton of planning here. Just, a little. Not much. So that's going to go with this one. Set that aside. Don't worry about that yet. And then, so for these guys, I'm going to put these aside because I will do them off camera. Get rid of those. And then I need a large starlet background. Yep. For that one. Okay. So here's, you can do this if you wanna. I usually just eyeball it, but I'm telling you. Okay, so this is your piece, your big piece, right? And I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna heat this just to get any, whatever. And so you can take your big fussy cut. What the crap did I do with them? They're there. You can take the fussy cut that came with this and you can use it to help you with figuring out where this should go. So you could actually use it to help with your placement to put it to where it's centered, more directly. So that way you can get accurate in here like that. See what I mean? And now it's going to be perfect all the way around. I usually just eyeball it. I'm not going to lie. But that's what that's for. That's for those people that, have time to actually do things, right. And, that are right with the world and things like that. And so me, I usually just eyeball it, but actually looks really good that I did that. It actually lined up really beautifully and I'm impressed, honestly. I mean, I know to do that, and usually like on a quilt that I'm super like needing to make sure that everything is in line, I will actually use the fussy cuts to make sure that the next size up fussy cut, if I have it, I will definitely use it to make sure I'm in line. But, I don't always think about it with doing this kind of stuff. So I'm just going to count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-ish and move to somewhere else. And if I did my job right, I shouldn't get anything on my iron, but that's no promises. I'm going to let this heat up some more, and I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to heat from the back now. Because we flipped it the other way around, so now the sticky is on the proper side. So now it's adhering to it, just like that. And I'm going to get that nice clean edge. I'm still going to top stitch it. And you could always do a decorative stitch, anything like that. Use some of those really cool stitches that your machine has. I do have a QE Everzone or Evenzone. I don't know. Let's mess it up. I've only used it like once or twice so far. I've only had it like a week or two. So, but it comes with all those really cute stitches. You could really go to town on this one because it would really pop. So now we're nice and adhered and looks beautiful. Love it. So now I'm going to set this aside for a second. Actually somewhere over here, not in the way. And then we're going to go to our brown set. Now remember, I told you I wanted to make this to where it was reversible. Not just reversible, but like totally flipped on in. Because, you know, I could have made this where it was the other way and where you would be able to see the black and the stars and then the witches on the front. That's not what I wanted to do. I want to make it completely two different situations. So I'm going to take my large brown here and I'm going to heat it up. And I'm going to use my fussy cut and just trying to get it all nice and heated up. I'm going to put my fussy cut down. And then I'm going to put this cutie pie on here. And then just going to use it to help me square up. Since this is just a table runner and there is only a few of these, I guess it is super important to make sure that they're in line. People are going to be sitting there staring at them, so I guess you should try not to screw them up too much. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and move. 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 If only I had an ironing assistant. Well, how great would that be? Okay, that's it for just a second. Do the same thing I did there. I got stuff all over this. Probably should run my little Duma Flitchy. Why can't I ever think of the names of stuff? I never can think of the names of stuff and I end up just punting and making up my own names for things. So I'm going to do it again. Just making sure it's all good to go. I'm not really sliding it across. I'm just like moving it across. My iron's pretty clean. I'll say that. I think it's clean. Okay. I'm fine with this. Whatever. I do actually need to do these little tips because this wool mat actually wasn't quite big enough for this particular situation, I think. But I don't care, I still love it. So I'm just going to get the bits of wrinkles out. Okay, so now you've got the general idea, right? So this is going to be one side of it. So stinking cute. And then this is going to be the other side. We're going to have the 3 of this, but in the 2 different sides. So what I wanted to show you is, so on this side, we're going to, this is the way it would be. It would be this way. And then we would have our, see if I can find some batting over here in my scraps. I think this is probably going to work. You probably don't need to use a whole lot of batting. I might use something else. I don't know. Anyways, you would take your batting, right? And this. And so then you would have them sewn together and you would be able to flip it from one to the other. So let's go ahead and let's do this together. So I'm going to show you that the situation is you can do this 2 ways. So you can do it like one big connected hexagon, or you can do the hexes as complete units and then stitch them together, which is what we're going to do, because that way you can always adjust and add and add and add. And I think that way is the best way. It's the most traditional way, but I mean, you could do it a different way, but I'm not gonna. So, all right, so I need to use my big hexie, which is my 6.5. I'm just going to go over here. So did I leave that guard off again? Oh my gosh. And then I've got some, oh, I got too much stuff in my way. And then I'm going to just rough cut this because I can't turn it with the stuff I've got hanging. Way too much crap going on. Okay. Turn. Okay. So I already know that this is going to be on, I'm going to start with, this one's going to be my far right piece. So it's going to be facing this direction, just like this, with my boo facing me, looking this way. Okay, so, and then, because I want to make sure that I'm doing it all together where it should be, then I'm going to place my batting. And then I'm going to take this, and I'm going to, what the crap are you doing, Jessica Lachey? Okay, sorry, hold on. I'm having the issues. All right, so that is the way it should be, facing up in the direction it's supposed to go. Then I'm going to put the batting on the back like it would naturally already be one unit. So this would be like one complete unit. If you need to, you can base this or pin it or whatever, but I'm not going to do that. We're going to wing it, okay? So then you would put this over. If this was directional, you would want to make sure that it's facing whatever direction it's going to be facing, but this print is not. So then I'm going to put this on top. And then, so what I'm going to do next is I want my opening for flipping to be over here, because this is going to be my right side of the placemat. This would be the center and this would be the left. So when I connect these, if I have my opening here, nobody's going to see where I opened or closed that hexagon. So I want my opening to be over here. So I'm going to just put just some kind of little marker, you know, just to let myself know to start there and end there. As far as the rest of these situations, I'm not going to fret about it. I'm just going to wing it, okay? And I'm sure that there's a better video on this, or that somebody else does it better, but this is what I do, okay? So let's just roll with it. And I'm moving the camera again. Boo-boo. So sorry. Yep. It's just a little webcam thing. I think it was like $5. Okay. All right. Okay. So I turn this back on again. You know, it's just whatever. And you could quilt this too. Like, and I'm probably going to quilt it. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I almost did this. Okay, so here's the other option, all right? So if you are going to attach these, if you wanted to use like a really cute purple thread through here or whatever, mine are exactly the same is the problem, okay? So because mine are cut exactly the same and to the exact same dimensions, I could technically just quilt through them both at the same time and not have any issues at all. So I could go ahead and do this and then flip it inside out and then quilt it. But if, you know, let's say you had a different design on one of them and not the other, I guess I should just go ahead and do it. Just don't be a wuss. Just do it. Fine. Okay. Let's just do it right. Just for the people in my background. So, okay. I took it apart, and so then you would, some people use paper or whatever. You could do whatever you wanted to through here. Honest to God, I would have, if this would have been me, I would have flipped that booger right side out, and then I would have just quilted them both together in the same way because they're exactly the same size. If you were doing it this way, I would do exactly that. But for the sake of this, if you did do something different, let's just do it. So I'm just gonna do a little top stitch just around the whole thing. And if I would have thought I was gonna do this, I would have changed my foot to the uneven foot. Oh my gosh, I love that Booker by Baby a lot. It is amazing because it just rides the two like different heights, just beautiful, and you get that like magical little scene. And well, not scene, but just beautiful. Like I used it earlier on applique project I was doing. Oh, beautiful. If I were just doing this just for me and not for this video, I would have totally just quilted through all the layers all at once into the same pattern and just everything on all of them. But I guess this is better. Just that way you could do it. I probably just would have did an all over quilts on them and just called it a day. But it's whatever. That's done. And then we'll go ahead and do this one. And I'm actually going to do this one with the batting on it, just because that keeps the batting in place too. That's a good idea. I mean, it's whatever. I wonder if I should change my foot, just because. I think I put it all the way up though in my little case. I think I did. It is just such a nice foot to have. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I don't know where it is. I think I put it back in its little special happy place. I have a little case that has all of my little feet where you just flip through it and get to whatever foot it is that you're wanting. And it's just super nice. Super, super, super nice. I like it a lot. Okay, so that's a done deal. Yay, yay us. So pretty. That. It's just like sparkly. That's so cute. All right, so remember what I said about this is the way it's going to be facing us. So just like this, and then I'm going to sandwich it like this, making sure my opening's over here. And yeah. Yep. Okay. So I'm going to go up here and try to do 1/4. I always like make it too small, like tacking it down there, back stitching, or whatever you want to say. See, I always just take my fabric to this line, or past the line actually, but I usually just stop it right there. And then I just call it done. But if you needed that mark for something, you know, I mean, to be precise and all of that good stuff, you certainly, definitely could and should, and it's there for you. They're all about accuracy up there. And I need as much accuracy as I can get because I am just wheelie-neely. And so anything I can do to help me with that is great. And I can see here that I need to pull this over some, a little smidgen. Trying to put that bias is working hard for the money today, boy. Now we have our opening and we're going to flip it, and I'm going to show you. Actually, God, I just suck at this. I'm sorry. Like, I watch YouTube all the time, people, like all the time. And everybody on YouTube always have their act together. I guess because they plan stuff. Yeah, that's never going to happen, Jess. Never. I can't even plan when my kids are going to go to sleep for me to be able to plan to do a new fun project like this. So there's no way I could pre-plan like fabrics and set stuff up, much less have extra fabric just to play with and show you cool stuff. So yeah, that's never going to happen. So just forget I even said that. It's always going to be poor quality like this. Yeah. Okay. So I trimmed my corners again. And now I'm going to enter in my little hole here. And I'm just going to pull this through. Doing some finagling. Actually, quite a bit of fabric here. You got to remember there's, 2 featherweights in there and 1, 2, 3, 4 layers of fabric and a layer of batting. So you've got some stuff happening for sure. Okay. I'm knitting needle. Mwahaha. Mwahaha. I should go to bed. I'm being ridiculous. Okay. Okay. All right. So, how stinking cute is that? This is my opening, of course. And then over here, so they would be able to have this table runner, small, big, small, and then they could flip it over for grandma comes over and they don't want to judge them for being too, whimsical, or kids party and adult tea and Thanksgiving, Halloween. That way you don't have to store 500 table runners. I just don't have places or time for that. So there's that. I am going to run, and do you see what I mean? How I could have just let this be and just top stitched the both of these together. It's just really, a lazy person would have just not did it, but it's fine. You can do whatever. You also can quilt this. I highly recommend Martelli's free motion quilt hoops. They're amazing, and I love free motion quilting. So I no doubt will probably do some quilting on this once it's done, but I've got to do the other ones real fast too. So anyways, you could stop right here and just, finish your seam here and sew that up. And you could just use this as a table hot pad or whatever on this side, but there's no stuff on this side. But this side has that glitter on it, which you're not supposed to really put heat on, I guess. But you could definitely stop right here if you really wanted to. But once all three of these are put together, this is going to be a magnificent piece, honestly. It's going to be just gorgeous. And I can't wait to get it done. So once I get this finished, I'm going to go ahead and stop the video now. But once I get it finished, down in the comment section, I will post a picture of it once it's finished, so that way you can check it out and see how you feel about it. And again, if I wasn't videoing and, things like that, I could get this done a lot faster. I actually just came up with the thought and the idea about it just right before I started videoing. So it just wasn't a lot of forethought, and that was on my fault. So, but again, I love everything Martelli does, and this isn't sponsored by anybody. I just really wanted to share this really cool thing that I think is just amazing. I just love it, and I can't wait to gift it. And this fabric just makes me happy. This glow in the dark with this, and then this, it makes me happy. I mean, and isn't that what fabric should do for you? So anyways, till next time. And I am going to start trying to post more. I'm going to start trying to utilize my YouTube channel, because like I said, it's too difficult for me to try to post in all the different groups and do lives and do the tutorials on the free motion and all of that stuff. It's just beginning to be too much for me. And so I end up having to do the same tutorial on like 10 different groups. And so I am going to start using this channel more often. So start looking for me here. And as usual, on Facebook, you can just type in the @ signal and Mama Makes It All, and it'll link you to my craft page there, where I am always at. I'm always on Facebook. So find me there. And like I said, I'll post a picture in the comment section below, and have a great day. Bye. Now I have to figure out how to turn it off.